Well, I'm pleased to be joined this morning by Brian Trascher. He's got some extensive experience in politics and lobbying in particular. He's got a new book. It's called Laws and Sausage, Brian. Kind of an interesting title there. Why don't you just tell me a little bit about the book?
Well, Otto von Bismarck has once said that laws like sausage are two things that people never want to see get made. So thanks for having me here this morning. I'm glad I'm not sharing a news cycle with the solar eclipse.
Yeah, very good. In this book, you talk about how people can get more involved with government. I'm sure something lots of people want to do when they see something they don't like or something they do like, they want to see more of. Can you just give me a rundown of kind of some ways that people can get more involved with government?
So ever since the election, we've seen a lot of people, marching and protesting in the streets, which is all fine and dandy. It's part of your First Amendment right. If you ask the average American what their most important right afforded to them in the Constitution, most of them would probably say the freedom of speech. I argue that it's the freedom to petition our government, because speech has limits, but we have no limits to the amount that we can ask and approach our government officials and ask them to make changes for us. Now, you can march in the streets and protest all day, but if you just go to the protest and go home and you don't know the process of how a bill becomes a law or how an idea becomes a law, then you're really just wasting your time. And with Laws and Sausage, I hope to just try to give people a beginner's guide on how to, whether it's somebody that wants to get a one-way street in their neighborhood turned into a two-way, or somebody that wants to change the U.S. Constitution. There's a process to it all.
Okay. Well, we're no strangers to protests here in Baton Rouge.
We're not,
especially in light of the Alton Sterling shooting. So basically what you're saying is that rather than protest, those people could get involved with government through ways in this book, and it would be better results, in your opinion.
It would be better results, and I'm not trying to dissuade people from protesting, because it's a good starting gun. It's a way to bring awareness to your issue. But my point is that if that's all you do, if that's all you're doing is holding signs and chanting, and frankly, if you end up in a protest that becomes violent or controversial, then your message can really get drowned out. The revolution is really in the halls of government. And like I said, there's a process to that. There's a way that you approach and talk to lawmakers that you can make them listen, make them remember you, and ultimately make them help you.
Excellent. All right, we got a little bit of time left, Brian. I know you're going to be doing some speaking arrangements.
Correct.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about your schedule?
Yeah, so one of our primary goals is to help companies and organizations who would like to turn their rank and file employees into citizen advocates. And part of the book tour, we're doing a keynote speaking tour. So if anybody is looking for a keynote speaker to talk on the public policy process and how you can see how the sausage is made, you just contact us at lawsandsausage.net.
All right, excellent, Brian. Well, thanks for joining us this morning, and thanks everyone for joining us here in the Big Extra Hour. We'll have another great show for you tomorrow morning. So be sure to join us again right then.